guys, it's Judy and I have a card process to show you. Today I am making a get well card for a colleague or someone who works with my husband, and he unfortunately had to go to the hospital. I'm not going to go into the details, but he is a big sports fan, so my husband talks to him about sports and stuff, so I decided to use that stamp, and it is a craft lounge stamp, and you'll notice it is a red rubber stamp that is mounted on the cling foam. So in case people were wondering, when they say unmounted or mounted, usually that extra gray piece is the mounted part. It's not mounted on a wood block, but you can use it on an acrylic block. So this is called Sports Fan. So I am going to color. Now I'm trying to look for the right shade for his skin tone. I'm looking for a darker shade because the card is for an African American gentleman. So I am trying a little combo. You see my son's hand. He is crafting beside me. So it is E35 and E37 are the colors I chose. So usually I like to test out on the actual paper. You see I went to the side to take a look and to see how it blends it. Usually you should kind of try the colors on the same paper because that's how it'll look. It looks different on different papers. So I just use E59 for the hair. This is darker brown. And you'll see like my ink had smudged near the top. But anyways, he's a big Falcons fan. So basically the colors are red and black. So I'm using just the red for the pajamas. So my go-to reds are R29 and R39. Those are the two colors I like to blend together. And the hat I kind of got out of the lines, but anyways, so I'm just trying to decide what I need to color in red or what colors I wanted to use. So there I kind of followed the curve of the foot in a darker shade. And I was following along on because the stamp itself came with a colored image of it. So I was just kind of looking at it to see where the shading was. That's a great tool to use. Use the actual image of the stamp that has the coloring done, so you can just see where the shading is if you have problem shading. And other times it's also, sometimes the stamp itself has its own shading, but it's nice to see, you like the darker areas where it has the creases and folds. Here I am. You'll see I am re-inking my marker because you'll notice that the tip of the nib, it turned white, meaning there's no more ink left. So I am just dropping it in, and all you need is a few drops and wait a little. See how it's already kind of coming down, sort of. So I wait. I tried to do it, and it still wasn't totally absorbed yet. So basically it just needs to flow up. So I use the next shade, and that, you see how the white tip of the marker, that is also going. So these are my three most used colors because they are what I use for black hair. You see how the tip is white? I don't know if you can see. But anyway, I skip ahead and I just kind of go, unless I'm finished. I think I finished the shirt already. But anyway, I continue to do more red using the R27 or R29 and R39, I believe.
I have my...
And like I said, you use the darker shades around the creases or the dents. So for the white parts, I do use C1, which gives a little gray shade. So the white, it kind of makes the white stand out more, or you can see the white better. And then I am coloring the couch. The couch is going to be B97, 90, I use 3 shades, B97, 95, and 93. So here, on this side, I'm putting the darker shade down first, and then the middle shade, and then the lightest shade. And then I go back to the middle shade, and then the darker shade. But on this side, I do the lighter shade first, and then I do the middle shade, middle color, and then I do the darkest. And then I go back with the middle, and then do the whole thing with the lightest shade again. And then I just do it for the rest of the couch. So dark, middle, and then, or medium, and then the lightest. So there you have it. That I think is the finished colored image. And I had splatter, I don't know, sometimes I get dots on my dots of ink. You see that dot of the ink next to the bear can or whatever soda can it is. I think when I flip my markers, it kind of flings some ink off. But anyway, I'm fussy cutting. I'm using my Cutter Bee scissors, and I'm kind of off frame, but I always kind of use my left hand. I'm a righty, so I use my left hand to guide the paper as I'm cutting. So like I said, this is a get well card. So I'm trying to see what my card base is. I am deciding red and black just because those are the Falcon colors. So basically I'm looking for my black base. There we go. It's a paper tray ink, and I think the red is cherry red from MFT. So the black is True Black from Paper Tray Ink, and they have one of the best heavyweight cardstocks, I believe, for card making. So I'm just making a regular A2 size card. I cut it at 5.5 and then score at 4.25. And then I'm just trying to decide what'll look good, how I want, if I want it all red, or if I usually like making my own pattern on the matte or that background paper. Ooh, it looks out of focus. There we go. Anyway, so the matte is usually 1/4 less than the card base, so it will be 5.25 by 4. And so I'm just looking. That stamp also set came with, you know, Mommy? Different sport balls. What's so the thing, Mommy? Aiden, it's a piece of card, piece of paper, buddy. And so I decided. I think it came with a soccer ball and a baseball, maybe, but also the football. So I used the football. So I'm just kind of stamping it all around, kind of creating a background around the image itself. So, and then I am going to look for, at first I was going to do my plain, you know, black strip, but I looked at my scraps and I had cut out a bunch of these on my Cricut one time. So it's great. It actually looks like a rug around the recliner or the sofa. So I also use that star, which is from, I believe, a Mama Elephant stamp. So I'm looking for sentiments to use, and I didn't want to write get well. I wanted to write, for some reason I was like, I want to say feel better soon. And I was looking at all those stamp sets I have that have some kind of get well sentiment on it. And that's a There She Goes stamp set.
What's next to the white one?
And I
What's
knew
over there?
That means it's recorded, buddy. Okay, let's try to be quiet. Sorry, guys. So I knew I shouldn't have used this stamp set because the lettering was so thin. Because on black, I needed to emboss it in white, and I don't have the best white embossing powder at all. My clear one is more detailed. This is like Recollections, but I don't think it's detailed. I really have to invest in a really good detailed. Anything with sentiments, you should use detailed. Anyways, but look, it got all blotchy. Like the feel was all bunched together and I didn't like it at all. So I was like, let me redo that. So I said, let me find a better stamp with the writing that's not as thin, or else it will blotch up on you if you don't have really good powder. So I used a Lawn Fawn stamp and 2 stamps. They had to get well soon, but then I went to the feel better. So I did the feel better and then the soon. And then once again, here we go again with the embossing. So this came out a little better, but I had, for some reason, I had gotten powder on the bottom. But anyway, I was like, I'm not going to redo it. So anyway, that's how it is. So here I go, adhering everything down. And let's see. So I'm just trying to see where the placement is. And this, there, I'm going to put it there. And then I'm using my favorite Big Lots or foam adhesive, which isn't pop dotted too much, but I like a little raised, just to add more dimension to the card. And I put it there. And then of course I have to add some Wink of Stella and Clear on the stars, just to add a little something. And then time for the inside. Oh, I'm trying to correct, because I colored outside the line using the red, so I just used my color blender to push it back in. So I chose to do a matte, a smaller matte. You can't see how big it was. I think it was 3 3/4. It was like half an inch instead of the regular 1/4 inch inside. And then this is part of the Here She Goes stamp, and it says, hoping you'll be back on your feet in no time. And then I'm also going to use that Feel Better Soon on the inside, since I'm not embossing it. And then I'm just going to do a border of the footballs on the bottom. I like doing border things to decorate inside, and then I just adhere it down. And that's it. Hope you guys like it. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.